Now, I'm sorry. I wish I had written down the chatter's name who had suggested the artist talent tech in our Phoenix Dredge list. If you're in the chat, we'll give you a big shout out. But this is an updated version of a deck we were playing 2 weeks ago and doing pretty well with. So basically, it's artist talent over the red white Cathartic Reunion, which name is the same thing. Discard 2, draw 3, except it's part of the resolution of the cast, and you gain 2 life. Artist talent, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may discard a card if you do draw a card. This card is really nuts in this deck. The ability to play this, and when you untap with this, you usually just win the game, where you're able to cast a Looting or a Reunion or a Loam and to kind of get the ball rolling, and then you get to start flashing back Lava Darts and continuing to dredge your Stinkweed Imps, continuing to hit Creeping Chills, continuing to mill over Phoenixes, and you get to attack and kill your opponent. That is the big update, but what's beyond just playing Artist Talent, because Artist Talent is a red card, you get to drop the white from the mana base, which makes the mana a lot smoother. It was really awkward that you really needed to bet Shock on the first 2 turns in the Naya version of the deck, because once you start dredging, it can be kind of difficult to start drawing lands. You needed green for Loam, and you ideally wanted white also for the other Cathartic Reunion. But now you don't need that anymore, so the mana ends up getting a lot better. The Blood Crypt gets a lot easier to play. Both of your Silver lands are green, which is really nice. And then we're also playing a Flame Jab, which is really cool tech. That was also a chat suggestion. This is a retrace from the graveyard to deal 1 damage to any target. So you can Loam and just go retrace Flame Jab, retrace Flame Jab, retrace Flame Jab, bring back your Phoenixes, or trigger Artist Talent each time you Flame Jab too. So might be right to play a second copy. Just playing 1 right now. I do think we should play the Ox of Agonases. The chatter that had suggested this has been playing Grixis for Otherworldly Gaze, but I really think that this is a good opportunity to stay 2 colors and have your mana be significantly better, because I was not loving the 3rd color in the mana base. Spooks to the 14 months, thank you, welcome back, and Focusing Infinity for converting tier 1 to a prime. Human being, 50% off the sub for tier 1. There's never been a better time to subscribe to Aspiring Spike. I think you just want to mulligan that on 7. Maybe on 6 you would keep it. And I think we keep this and put back the 3rd land. Add things still on. Yeah, it's okay for it to be on. It just gives me a 5-minute window to capture it. It's actually working. I'm considering buying the Abyssal. So it's really good if you're a pet owner. Me and Esther, I've told this story a few times, but we come back from MagicCon Vegas. My sister calls me in a panic, and as we're coming home, our dogs have been sprayed by a skunk, and it was we bought the Abyssal that night. And it was a big part of getting the house to a containable level. And then we've just been continuing to use it for normal pet stuff. Really, really good for pet owners. Okay, that's a great dredge, or mill for the dredge. I do think this league is going to kind of dictate what we play in the challenge on Monday. I'm pretty, so tomorrow is the showcase challenge. I don't know if I'm going to stream it or not, but I do kind of feel like the metagame is weirdly looking pretty good for the 4-color Cascade Birthing Ritual deck. Picked one up. All right, let's go. Thank you, Daddy. I do think that the metagame is looking really, really good for the Cascade Ritual deck, where Belcher has been just not that popular relative to a lot of the other, I don't know how you say this, relative to how popular Belcher has been in general. This week, it feels like it's on the decline because it had a negative win rate at the PT. It feels like people are kind of off of it. We played against it only twice. So that was the big problem for the Cascade Ritual deck. The deck is actually pretty good against Titan because you get to main deck all the subtleties. Pretty good against the creature decks. You even outgrind Gorios a lot of the time, although I also haven't seen a lot of Gorios. Draft Chaff at tier 1 for 6 months. So I think what my plan for tomorrow is likely going to be to do is to start the showcase off stream so I can work on some other stuff on my second monitor, and then if I end up having a deep run, throw the stream up. Is gonna be my tentative plan for the showcase tomorrow. But I may end up streaming it. Just kind of depends. Okay, so I guess we'll discard, Thug Phoenix, because we're just gonna be dredging the imp over and over. So discard the imp, dredge the imp, And then this Dredge the... Oh, sorry, there's another imp here. Oh, -1 Dredge. Oh, wait, no. The third draw. It's literally too much dredging to keep up with. Okay, so we have 1 Lava Dart in the yard. So maybe we want to flash back. I guess we want to flash... We want to discard this Lava Dart. So that we can definitely bring the Phoenixes back. So discard this Phoenix. Dredge the Thug. Hit another Creeping Chill. And then we get to go flashback Lava Dart. Discard Stinkweed Imp. Dredge Stinkweed Imp. Get another Creeping Chill. They're down to 7, or so down to 6 after the dart resolves. 3 Phoenixes, and you're at -3. I'm noticing a slight uptick in Vexing Baubles, so watch out for those if you're on the Cascade Ritual deck. Okay, good feedback. That is a pretty tough card for us. Maybe you could play some like Teferis in the board. Okay, opponent is at -3. So on the draw, we're going to bring in the Gemstone Caverns. We're playing against Broodscale. I think we're going to bring in all of the Grudges, and maybe we play Grudge and Claim. I'm thinking that the Oxen are going to be a little slow in this matchup. We can trim a Thug. We could trim the Jab. Don't know if I want to cut all the any Conflagrates. They're pretty good against them. Okay, maybe we'll cut 1 Conflagrate and play 2 Claims. This seems okay. This deck seems balanced. Yeah, I don't know about this deck. It's like it's killing on turn 3 really consistently in a way that's very tough to interact with. Which is good. It's obviously very weak to Graveyard Hate, but you do the normal Dredge stuff of like your entire sideboard, or most of your sideboard is just anti-Graveyard Hate stuff. I feel like this is just one of the modern decks that is like so play draw dependent, but it also feels likely pretty metagame dependent too. Like the more like frog style fair decks there are, the more this deck is to chew and spit those decks out. No Gravestone against K Command. I think K Command is just kind of slow enough that it only gets a couple cards that you can kind of tank it. Unfortunately, we're 1-2 in the challenge. We got really flooded in games 2 and 3. So let me update the title of the stream here. Just like, we're only playing 17 lands, but we just drew so many. Okay, gonna go to 6. We have no Dredger. We would have to keep a Creeping Chill in our hand. I think we go to 5. Okay, so this could be a turn 1 Artist Talent. I guess I'm gonna go keep this, put back Cathartic Reunion, put back an Ancient Grudge, Gemstone Caverns, imprint the Grudge. Turn 1 talent. After seeing this, I think it's time to re-unban Grave Troll. Hell yeah. I definitely have been thinking, I could be dredging 6 here instead of 5 every time I dredge the Imp. Although really, I guess it's instead of 4 because you would just play it over the Thug, because I do think you need the Loams. Okay, there's the Brood Scale. I guess we Surveil first. Graveyard that. Loam. This is our turn 2. Discard Loam, Dredge Loam. We do get to mill a Faithless Looting. I don't know if Faithless Looting is going to be better than double Loam, though. We'll see what we get to Dredge. Hopefully they don't just have Blade. They don't just have Blade, so they're going for the turn 3 combo. They may also have K Command up. Let's Dredge the Loam. We mill a Conflagrate. So it seems like what we want to do is cast Loam, then cast Conflagrate. We do mill a Phoenix. So we're going to go X equals 3, discarding 1, 2, 3. I don't know if it really matters because we're just discarding also the last card for the Artist Talent trigger anyways. So we don't mill a Lava Dart to possibly bring back the Phoenix. And then our opponent is going to get some amount of graveyard hate, I think, off the Saga. So we're going to have to figure out how to play through that. Have I fetched this game? I can't remember if I have. I think I have. Because remember we bottomed 2 Ancient Grudges earlier. Yeah, I did crack a Mire, so those are shuffled back in. So they make 2 constructs, and they probably get a Soul Guide Lantern. Very interesting what they're going to target. They target a Loam, which is probably not right over a Looting or an Imp. I do think that we just want to Dredge Imp and find the Ancient Grudge as soon as possible. Oh, that's good, I think. That's great, actually. Okay, so we cast Loam. We discard the Phoenix, draw a card. Kind of minor. So if I cast this Golgari Thug, do we think our opponent's going to block? Because I guess it's pretty likely they're going to block, or sorry, going to attack. And if they don't attack, that's kind of just a good thing. Thanks, Gemstone Caverns. Every time someone plays a Commercial District or a Surveil land, my brain thinks it's a Bojuka Bog because it's a tap land with an ETB effect. I don't think I've ever said that before, but whenever like they go tap land trigger, I just Bojuka Bog. So the Golgari Thug has to put either itself or the Phoenix on top. I guess it's a little bit better to put the Phoenix on top. This way we can dredge the Thug. Oh no, so we want to dredge the Loam so we can Loam again, right? And trigger the talent. Yeah, it's -1 dredge, but I think it's okay. All right, let's get ready to rumble. They mill over a Tezzeret, the Cruel Captain, Temple, Fleshraker. So all of these cards are on the table. They've already played the land, so they can't play any of these cards this turn. They have also missed land drop, so it's kind of likely they want a Temple. Instead, they do choose Tezzeret because that could just be graveyard hate, which I think that makes sense to me. So let's go ahead and dredge the Loam. We mill a Phoenix, we mill a Creeping Chill, and we mill another Loam. What we don't have is a land to get back with the Loam to trigger the Artist Talent. So I could cast this and then do nothing with it. I guess it's just better to level this. Leveling the Artist Talent could go really crazy with 2 Loams. Like I go Loam next turn. Yeah, we won through the challenge. We won round 1. What was round 1 against? I can't even remember. Then we beat game 1 against Titan. We were flying high. And then we got flooded game 3, on the draw to game 2. And then pretty flooded in both games against Mono Blutron. Oh, that's true. The level 3 Artist Talent does affect Creeping Chill and does affect Lava Dart. I didn't think we would max level, but actually might be pretty relevant. They grab a Haywire Might. Okay. Do they have the green land for the Might, though? They don't have it this turn, which is so fun. Okay, so let's go dredge the Thug. Find a Creeping Chill. We also find a Ancient Grudge. Let's just start off, though, this turn by going Loam. Discard the Thug, but then we want to dredge the Loam so we can just keep Loaming. This is so cool. Just the 1 mana Loams. I guess I need a land in the yard, so we'll do this. I guess I don't need it, but it would be nice. Oh no. I thought I had 1 more Stomping Ground in the deck. I guess it got exiled earlier. It did get exiled earlier. That's my bad. Shouldn't be the end of the world. Yeah, I should have just played the Stomping Ground. So discard here, dredge the Loam 1 more time. Although I might be flashing back the Ancient Grudge instead. Let's go and do that now. And then we'll dredge the Imp this time. 2 Lava Darts. Do I kill the Tezzeret? Do I target them? If I target them, targeting them once makes sense because it's a more even interval of 3 for our Creeping Chills and Phoenixes. I do think I'm pretty likely to kill them this turn. Still no Conflagrate. I have 3 Phoenixes in the yard, so 1 more Phoenix or 1 more Creeping Chill kills them. So I think I might as well target the Tezzeret, so it's less likely they could minus it next turn. The difference between 11 and 12 seems more or less non-existent. So there's the last Creeping Chill. This should be lethal. We might as well flash back another Dart. Looting. Well, it costs 3 mana to flash back, and we didn't have 3 mana. I guess we could have flashed it back earlier. I was a little... Oh, we can because of the artist talent. It costs 2. It costs 2. Okay. The level of artist... This is the first game it's been relevant that like leveling artist talents is really important, but... Okay, leveling talent's really broken. Can you explain how me, an MTG streamer, got a sponsor from Bissell? Yeah, they Twitch reached out with the offer. I know it's a bit weird. I haven't ever had a sponsor like this before, but I kind of think they would just kind of have the demographic that my audience is like older professionals, you know, or that's kind of the read I have. And so I feel like I am kind of a good person for, you know, adult products, you know, grown-up products. Maybe the better way to put that. All right, on the play against prowess, probably. Nope. Older. I mean, just older than like the 17-year-old kids that are like 6, 7. You know, pet owners. Professionals in stretch. Maybe. I mean, a lot of people I know just watch while they're at work. All right. Well, they're probably dead next turn. I feel like we've had artist talent in like every hand too. But we do mulligan pretty aggressively. All right, so they manifest the Oculus again. We don't want to discard the Imp to the Reunion because we want to discard it to the talent for the Dredge. So we'll go Reunion, discard Phoenix, Mire, trigger the talent. Hopefully we find some more Dredgers. 1. We brick. Oh no, so there's a Loam. I missed that there was a Loam. Great. Okay, not quite a brick. There's also 4 lava darts in the yard, really? Or is this 3? It is 4, wow. So is there any way that I could flash back Flame Jab? I don't think I can, because I don't, there's not really good, I'm not going to get a land into my hand, I'm just going to be dredging more. But let's go for the kill. We get a Surveil, which is, when you think about it, kind of a Dredge 1. Dang, this deck is so nice. Okay, we build 2 more Phoenixes there. I think we have 3 in the yard now. It looks like 3 in the yard. Which is still going to be 1 short, right? Just looking for another chill or another Phoenix. Just going all in. Although there may be the 4th Phoenix in there, I think. Again, I think we're just all in, so. Just keep going. Okay. Looks like we'll just see how many Phoenixes. We do only have 3. We do only have 3. The good news is we get to put our opponent down to 2. We're at 24 life points, and we have 4 creeping, or sorry, 3 creeping chills still in the deck, right? Or is it 2? We have 2 creeping chills still in the deck, so we have we have 5 looks at 2 outs next turn, in addition to also them being dead to Phoenixes if they don't have anything. They have something. They have to leave both creatures back to block, which is just going to be very tough for them because they're going to be so dead once we find the creeping chill. And so this just gives me like a whole extra turn at least. So 5 looks at 2 outs and 18 cards is somewhat likely. Feels kind of. This is basically a collected company. Although there's an Archon of Cruelty. But we hit. We have 1 lava dart left, and it is in the graveyard, but we don't have any. But we're not going to be able to play any lands because we're just going to be, I think, in these spots dredging for the kill. All right. Let me bring in these ley lines, and then their graveyard hate is going to be some combination of surgical and emperor, so the gravestones come in too. Kind of conflagrate. I think we cut the oxen for thug, flame jab. Let's cut a loam. Tin dredgers is probably okay. Where's Sodek? I don't know. I haven't heard about Sodek in a while. I don't know if he's still doing the podcast with Yendrick or not. Okay, well, mulligan the Creeping Chill 1-lander with no leyline on the draw. We got a leyline. We can bottom the Creeping Chill. I think I'll keep this. Surveillance help too. Y'all keeping this on the draw against Grixis Reanimator? I think I am. Feel free to thought scour me, opponent, since I've got Leyline of the Void in play. Would a creature that land cycles for 1 with Dredge 1 be too good? It would probably depend like what the stats of this mystery creature are, but not necessarily too good, I think. End up writing more than I thought it would. It might be too much. Yeah, it might be difficult to read on stream if it's a ton. I can maybe. Okay. I started Flesh Blue try to concise. I know you've mentioned that the Dredge matchup's tough. Making land drops feel really important, specifically the first 3. Yeah, I agree. Gaze not only digs for more lands. So I guess the digging for more lands thing is weird. Because, like, I don't know how often you're just, like, keeping a land on top early. Maybe you are doing that a lot. But, like, just, like, playing 4 Loams makes it really easy to hit the lands, too, I think. I'm just not too worried about it. They thought scour themselves on my upkeep. Dredge the Imp. Yeah, I'll try to read some more of this between games here. They exiled an island and a emperor to their scour. We have 2 phoenixes in the yard. Keep that. Set up for like looting flashback into like looting flashback plus hardcast looting. Why do they keep doing stuff with my upkeep? What is this? Why are you cycling on Earth on my upkeep? What's wrong with you? I guess they're looking for surgical. On cutting Cathartics, I'm still on 2, but I no longer believe it's a sacred cow and will likely explore cutting them in other lists. The main reason I'm lower on it compared to Gaze as Enabler is that it's always worse on talent than 2 unless you're playing around counter spells. That doesn't happen often. No, Cathartic isn't always worse on turn 2. It's like it's way better if your opponent has like if they have removal for your talents. Like Cathartic is so much better, especially if they're holding it up. Okay, 2-0, 4-0. So I like the fact that like against decks that have like the disenchants, I think on turn 2 the fact that you can play either is such like a potent threat against them. Like if your opponent's holding up like a Haywire Might activation or a Nature's Claim and you just cast the Reunion, it seems like so game winning. Like I would disagree on that point. Unfortunately, got pretty flooded 2 games in a row the challenge or 2 matches in a row, and now we're out. Yeah. I'm happy with the back and forth again. Like the artist talent suggestion was such a big breakthrough helping, so I'm definitely happy to keep going back and forth. I do think this is maybe kind of a speculative hand on the draw, but I think on the draw at the looting, it'll be fine. Gotta believe. We played the humans deck of the challenge. It is a deck I like. I guess I'm gonna discard the Phoenix with the ability to just like cast the Loam next turn after dredging the Thug. Should Ox just be sideboard? Maybe. It's a little bit weird to sideboard it. But you could do like 1 main 1 side. You could do just 1 in the side for like any time they have surgical. That could be fine. You could play you could do that. So they graveyarded Kozilek's Return and they put Sire, or so they put Verdant Catacombs in their hand, also Sire in the graveyard. I wonder if we ever want to just like kill the spawn token this turn. I think it's going to be a bit more important to cast the Loam this turn. It could we can discard Conflagrate to hand size and play a big Conflagrate next turn. Potentially flashback looting, potentially bring back the Phoenixes. No, dead in the challenge. We got pretty flooded. Just like that. I think there are 3 games in our 17 land deck that we had like 8 or 9 lands drawn by like turn 4 or 5. Is double Phoenix turn 2 just not enough? I don't think it is enough here against Eldrazi. I think they have a lot of things that beat this, and then like we could have 2 Phoenixes this turn, or we could just have a lot more next turn. You know, like we could have a lot more action next turn. Warp plus Port Mage is not something you explored? No. They're just way better things that go with Warp. Yeah, as far as Port Mage has only ever for me been a combo card in Primal Prayers decks that also kind of doubles as like a bit of a moderate value engine. Like it's cool that it draws cards, and it's also part of a like a 2-card combo or 3-card combo with Primal Prayers. Wait, they milled the K command. It wasn't a Surveil. Seems like they stacked their mill Surveil triggers wrong. Then they play a Forest. They mill a Mycospawn. Also good for me. Then they cast another copy of Rumble. This mills over an Ugin, a Sprawl, and a Ghost Quarter. They do see the Conflagrate in my yard, so if they're missing a land, they're going to need to keep the Ghost Quarter to cast the big card. Instead, they take the Ugin. So this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if they have a land, they can cast Ugin even if I kill both of these. Let's dredge the Loam. So I think we just have to go like Conflagrate plus Dart plus Flashback Darts. And then set up for the Ox next turn. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll discard 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three. Oh, sorry. I guess we can go just 5. Discard, play our land. Discard 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We discard the jab and the dart too. We could yeah. I think we'll just discard the whole hand. Oh, sorry, whole hand minus the dart. So 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Our opponent's hand is Ugin, 2 mystery cards. We get to throw 2 Phoenixes at them, and we get to Ox of Agonas next turn for a big chunk of our deck. We still have 3 Lava Darts. We could maybe consider taking a turn to Loam. So if they have the land for Ugin, they're going to go up to 13, which means that we need a combination of, like, I guess we need to find two of the darts. Oh no, we can't Phoenix if we Ox, because we're just not going to have the 3rd spell to cast because we're flashing back 2 darts. The Ox doesn't count for the Phoenix, so maybe we will just need to take the turn to Loam first. How many Creeping Chills do we have? Well, we have all 4 Creeping Chills in the deck. So that means, oh, they don't gain life. They make mana to exile my other Phoenix. They do have Shifting Woodland for Sire available, which means I do think I need to try to go for the kill and hit like 3 chills and a dart. So we get to dredge half our deck, so it's not that likely we succeed. I just don't know that I can beat Sire on, yeah, untap Ugin plus like. Oh, are they gonna K command my Ox? Oh, they K command the Ox. So gotta dredge the Loam. We find another Ox. Let's go ahead and go for it. You want to cut the second Ox now? It might, actually. Okay, mostly want to keep the dredgers. I think we'll get rid of all of the lands. Should be okay. One of the loams, one of the lootings. So one creeping chill found. Oh, two creeping chills found. And one lava dart. So if we find the last creeping chill off this, or one more creeping chill off this thug, we win. Let's go. Nice Ugin. Deck feels pretty real. I think my mouse died. This stream has luck. If only I could have luck at the challenge. Although maybe I'll play this in like the showcase or the challenge on Monday. Okay, so bringing the Gemstone Caverns, cutting a mountain. I think we will trim and Ox. It was pretty good that game. In this matchup, I don't know. Maybe we do like I didn't like Silent Gravestone as much against Brood Scale because you need to bring in a lot of the other hate cards. It also does cut off the Loam. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna bring in this for the K commands. I think it'd be fine. When the showcase with Dredge would go crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I think the Titan matchup's really bad, of course. But beyond that, like I do think the Belcher matchup's like kind of weirdly good. Like you're just faster than them, and they have like their interaction's really bad against you. Yeah, I thought about one Arena of Glory for the Ox. Yeah, but like I think you just have to have a mana base of all mountains. Anti-hate grudges. I just like they don't play like artifact based graveyard hate, do they? Not very much if they do. What does talent add in respect to Thriller Discovery? So if you can untap with talent, it is much better. It lets you like it gives like if you untap with talent, you almost always win. You just get to trigger it so many times with the lootings, the darts, and the loams. It just kills them so fast. The downside is that it can be removed with disenchants, and so you kind of open yourself up to being weak to that. Of course, the spare helps with Titan. It's still hard to win. Yeah. It's like, it's just so tough that they can just still sometimes, they can just beat the Force of Despair depending on what their draw is like. Yeah, awkward top deck. Keep this, I guess, even if it means I'm not dredging next turn. I think I'm okay to like looting and surveil next turn and try to set up for a big Cathartic Reunion. Yeah, I think you could play a single arena. Like it's one of those deck building decisions. Like, is this optimal versus is it good? Like, I think the single arena definitely would have a lot of good moments with the Ox, but that doesn't mean that it is. Okay, they have Cage. Let's go to game 3. Maybe I should have expected them to have Cage. So Claim can kill Sprawl. It kills, so it's better. So we can't flashback Grudge to kill Cage anyways. So I think we'll bring in the Claims. The big upside, of course, to Grudge is that we could build it over and like kill their talismans and stuff. But I think just 1 mana versus 2 mana, and also being able to kill Sprawl. Let's bring this in. Down an Ox, down a Thug, down the Jab. Mulligan to 7 on the play. So let's not shuffle because I don't want to draw a Creeping Chill off the looting. So let's keep that other Creeping Chill in the bottom for now. Discard probably these 2. Ton of Lingus for Titan. Ingus is so weird. It's like I think like the last several times I've played Ingus against Titan, it hasn't done that much. Like I spend my turn 2 on the draw to play an Ingus. They play a Primeval Titan and they get like 1 land and they take 3 damage, and that's kind of it. It's like It just hasn't done that much. Okay, do I want to flashback and Conflagrate this turn? I think I'm just gonna Surveil instead. And flashback the looting next turn. You know what I mean? Like it's just, it's not like they have to do the combo. They just get to cast a bunch of like colossal dread balls, or they you know, they Ode War it and they take like 6 damage and then they kill you. It's like it can be really good against them, and it's like the fact that it's 2 mana is really appealing too. What even is there for Titan? Yeah, it's like you really like, if you want dedicated Titan sideboard cards, if you're not playing counter magic and subtleties, like subtlety is like so nice. Counter magic is so nice to have against them because they just don't play Cavern of Souls. Okay, only 1 basic left. They might think I'm only on 2 though and ghost quarter me kind of aggressively. Although it does seem like they're holding up the K command for Graveyard Hate. They might get rid of this looting here. Yeah, so like you know, you have 3 mana options and they're too slow to draw a lot of the time. Okay, so they're gonna K command the looting, which is probably about as good an outcome as you can hope for. Oh, they K command the imp? That's interesting. Is that better? No. Let's flashback the looting. I'm gonna get another Stomping Ground because of their Ghost Quarter stuff. I like drawing the claim, so let's discard these 2. Weird game. Yeah, Surgical's been good, but Surgical's like better in combination with like more traditional interaction too. You know, like the Scape Shift plan has made Titan much more difficult to sideboard against than it used to be. It didn't exactly seem like I don't know, like the fact that Scape Shift 4 lands Spelunking or Amulet is lethal it seems really gross still. Okay, so they've got a Myco spawn. They are playing the Bog. We were playing, I don't know if it was this deck. We were playing a deck like this, and they just didn't have the Bog in the deck. It was so crazy. Good chance we're gonna, you know, get double Graveyard Hated out of this game. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, let's Graveyard the looting so we can get the ball rolling again. Although I don't exactly love drawing the Creeping Chill. Yeah, get to work helping. I'll read it later. Again, thank you for your feedback. I like having these kind of back and forth combos. Still insane they don't have a cavern in the board. I know, like I don't know how they're gonna Ghost Quarter their own Bajuka Bog. So they can Ice Till Bog here. Think about Cyborg, Ghost Quarter, and Trophy. Yeah, the Lotus Field has been so good against that too. Yeah, Orb is okay against Titan, but it's like on a lot of their Aftermath Analyst stuff, like they just kind of pick up a Beseiju and get rid of it. Like I usually bring in 1 orb if I have like 1 orb in my sideboard. Yeah, they just get Infinite Bajuka Bogs is gonna get me. That is a very cool line. It's a very cool line. All right, I think we're going to concede this game. Very cool. I think I'm also going to call it here for today. Go get some lunch. Not a full league here, but I am like very hungry. I woke up early to fix some decks and go for a walk. I'm like starving. Thanks again to Bissell for sponsoring the stream, and thank you more so to everybody for being